I've decided to list the reasons I think Black Lives Matter is horrible and should be disbanded, although that never will happen because they're not organized enough to do something like that overnight. I've written out my reasons right here, and I'll just kind of start, from the. I'm gonna go from the bottom. Okay, they ignore blacks killing each other. That's reason number one. At first, um, I was informed of these statistics by television, particularly Fox News. And you might go and say, "Oh, that's a biased source," but I looked it up on the internet, and oh, wait, it's there too. Um, this year alone in Chicago, there have been 3,000 people shot, or roughly 3,000, a number that's closer to 4,000 actually. And distinctively, I recall 74% of those people shot were blacks. And who do you think shot them? White cops or other blacks? Now, we don't know the reason for each time they were shot. It doesn't matter the reason. The point is, they shoot each other more times than any other group of people or any other group does to them, and it gets no coverage, no major upset, no anger, no frustration, no rally, no protest. And at first, I assumed this is because BLM doesn't know about this; they're completely unaware. Give them the benefit of the doubt. No, there was an article that came out a few months ago. I think I might have mentioned another video where there was a woman who, listed this as one of the things that people critiqued BLM for, and she considered herself a member of the group as well, apparently. So they're aware of this. They just choose not to get into it for whatever reason. The second reason, number two, is they are powered by ignorance. And what I mean by that is, so to give you a little bit of history on me, I really, first heard of this group after well, pretty much after it was first founded, following the acquittal of George Zimmerman in the Trayvon Martin case 3 years ago. And at that time, I said, "Oh man, we've got a group that's gonna stand up for blacks. All right." And I don't look at myself that negatively back then because I just assumed that that was an issue because I'd heard growing up about police brutality. Um, and then I started to be informed of, once again, those statistics. But a lot of times when I was made aware of that stuff, it was through my own independent research, meaning, I didn't go on the TV. I had to go looking for it, basically. Um, and I've spoken to several African Americans who, become enraged if you talk about um, blacks getting killed by cops as if it's not a big deal or it's not the main issue. The sad fact of the matter is it's not. Blacks killing each other is a major issue and certainly bigger than cops when they kill each other off 9 times out of 10. Meaning if you're African American, you are 9 times more likely to be killed by someone who looks just like you than by the racist cops. And that to me is saddening. It's disappointing. It's just for all this talk of racism in this country, the racists aren't the ones killing us. This isn't the era of the KKK anymore. At least to where they're the ones doing the overwhelming majority of killings. We've actually seen a few cases where blacks have killed whites or other police or any other type of group in retaliation for the perceived killings of blacks before, out of some hatred for another group. But that's besides the point. So the bottom line is they are only as strong as they are because they get away with having members not independently research this stuff. And the media plays a part in that ignorance or in people not being aware of this. And it's not horrible to say you're ignorant on something. I'm ignorant on sports. I'm ignorant on parts of math. I can admit to it and know that those are areas that I am lacking and that other people are better. And it doesn't make me the worst person in the world. So yeah, it's ignorance, but it's not something that we're so far removed from that we can't recover from, if that makes sense. So the next reason, or reason number three, is they're hypocritical. And what I mean by that, well, a lot of the group's members that I've been around have talked about the racist whites and the blacks have to stick together and those evil whites, those evil Caucasians. But then you'll go on their um, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook page, and a lot of times I've seen personally these same African Americans, be they male or female, will, after posting about the racist Caucasians that are out to get us and hunt us, they're over there macking at a Caucasian who is the opposite sex. And, there is no mention of the racist Caucasians there because they know that person will likely be turned off by it. Why would you want to date somebody that you think is racist? Because you don't think they're racist, but then if you don't think they're racist, why would you say they're racist? Again, it's hypocrisy. If you truly believe an entire race of people is racist, which in my view is generalizing, I don't believe the majority of whites are racist, just to disclose that. But that's besides the point. If you believe an entire group is racist because of their race, why would you date anyone from that race? Why would you date someone who you think is racist against you? It doesn't make sense. But again, they are allowed to get away with this. The next thing is they glorify thugs or African Americans. And look, I'm not one to say, automatically you are a horrible person if you've ever been to jail. And I'm not, trying to say in any way that if you have a criminal record, that means you deserve to die. Obviously not. But the cold hard truth is that, with the exception of Trayvon, most of these, and maybe Gardner as well, but most of these African Americans that get shot have a criminal record, and they either are, with that background, or they have some, resisting of arrest. You go back to the Terrence Crutcher thing, obviously they claimed, I think that was when they claimed had a gun, or that one that was claimed to be reaching for inside the car. And, that's that. But you go into the past of some of these other African Americans, and it's just, none of them are clean slates, basically. And that's, again, not to suggest that they deserve to die. But you have to ask yourself this, because we're going to get some more killings either by the end of this year. We only have 2 more months left to go. This is November 14th. We're halfway through this month. We got a month and a half left to go this year. You'll get more killings either by the end of this year or throughout next year. And the thing that irritates me about a lot of people at this point that are black that get killed by cops, unfortunately, is that they usually resist arrest to some extent. And I always just question, how am I supposed to feel sympathetic after this is the 30th, 40th, 50th shooting that got major coverage? And the lesson learned from those should have been, the cops have no problem shooting you, whether you're black or not. They can throw race in there. I just see it as they're resisting arrest, so I have to take them down one way or the other. Why not just follow lawful order if you know that they will shoot you? That should be the lesson learned by now. That's the lesson that's been learned by blacks that believe in this group, that believe in their message, that you will get shot. And yet you still have these stories. So, yeah, I think, they glorify after these people die. Oh, they were such wonderful individuals, and it was just the racist cops looking to gun somebody down. I mean, it doesn't add up. They always either do something or there's some event to where they bring this upon themselves. Not their deaths, but the encounter with the cops. Usually it's by them. And they want to pretend that doesn't happen. Now, the last reason, this is kind of the biggest one, that group, BLM, the majority of its members, they are against freedom of speech. And look, I'm not talking about, to clarify, there are some who will have a rapport with you. I find that common with the older members of it, or people who are older who may associate with it. But the ones that are my age, 18 or up, or a little bit older, a little bit younger, they will be the first ones to say, "You know what you're talking about, shut up, don't ever talk to me again." They will get on you and scream and holler because you have a difference of opinion with them. And then when you try to express it, you're the bad guy, you're the villain, you're the antagonist. You are the person who's trying to sweep things under the rug and, you know, make whites out to be the savior. And I'm not trying to do that at all, but I don't see where I should be labeled as the villain if, you know, all I'm saying is how I feel. I honestly don't believe that whites or cops are out to get me. And because of that, I'm the villain. I'm the antagonist. I'm the evil foe. I mean, I don't buy that. And you know, I've had you know, discussions with some of their members, and they always will call somebody a coon or insult them in some other way that's just counterproductive to even talking to them. It's like, why waste the time? You know, it's the equivalent of talking to a brick wall. But it wouldn't just be that if it weren't for the fact that I know that on this video you'll get some who, you know, they could just say, okay, I disagree with you, but no, I'm going to insult you too. I haven't insulted any of the members of this group except to suggest that they are either unaware of what's going on in Chicago, which I do believe because the media doesn't report it, or they're, you know, purposely sweeping it under the rug, which I think is, you know, as Clinton said, their preferred presidential candidate. That's deplorable. So, you know, those are my reasons. I hope they improve. I doubt they will, but yeah, that's just how I feel about them. Thank you for watching and have a good day.